watching the Tanaka Ichiro show, and today we have a very special guest whose name I cannot remember now, but he's a very special guest. And today we are going to discuss about the bathroom etiquettes. And so my first question to you would be, by the way, welcome. And what do you have to say about etiquettes? And what do you like advocate to the people like you meet about maintaining bathroom hygiene?
Leave the door open. That is usually my number one etiquette advice. Whenever you're like whether you're going to pee, you're going to poop, or you're like taking a shower, doing any activity in the washroom, leave the door open. That is my number one advice.
Are you serious? I mean, are you for real?
Of course, I'm kidding. Why would I mean, you know what? Why did I said that? Because it is a reality. I mean, I've visited about like 220 countries. Like this has been my job since last 25 years. I have visited countries and researched about their bathroom etiquettes and the culture that the people are, inhabiting and inhibiting actually, and like how they engage in these hygienic and washroom related activities. I've been through so many cultures, so many different countries, and honestly, I've come across many households where women complained that their husbands leave the door open when they are like engaging in activity, and they don't even care like if anybody's like watching them or whatever. And it is not good. It is the worst thing that you can do. And you're basically leaving the room open for germs and bacteria to get outside. Whatever gets generated in one place, like there's this quote about certain places that whatever happens in XYZ should stay in XYZ. Similarly, if we have germs and bacteria which are created or um, you know generated, harvested in bathrooms, they should stay there. And I'm not saying stay there like stay there. Obviously, we will get to the point where we discuss about how to clean them, how to get rid of them. But leaving the door open is basically leaving the room, giving those bacteria and giving those organisms space so that they can travel from one area to another area, and that's not good.
I've heard that on social media you've literally said something about nose jacking, and this is the first time like I'm hearing about this theory about nose jacking. Could you explain what nose jacking is all about?
So my theory about no stack, it basically means that when you are doing your business in the bathroom, okay, and by business I basically am referring to uh, bigger loads, if you understand. I mean puking. So when you're done with that and you flushed it, let's say, after flushing, when you're like washing your hands, please wait for a minute. Not a minute, okay? It's a long thing. Let's just wait for like 15 to 20 seconds just to reinsure that everything is clean. Okay? Leave no evidence of the things that you're disposing, the excreta that you're disposing into the pot. Don't, because some people, what they don't realize is that after they have flushed and they're like, they wash their hands and, they go away, sometimes things are not fully disposed. There are traces left. So I always like suggest to people to always carry a bucket with them whenever they're going to the washroom. Carry a bucket with yourself, okay, and maybe like pre-fill it with water, not fully, of course, just up to some level. And in case you're like stuck in the situation where basically the excreta didn't dispose completely, you have that water available. Just with full pressure, thrust it into the pot, and um, it'll dispose off. Okay, so that is my theorem. No stack. Don't leave evidence. Okay, um, do not um, make the experience of the upcoming person bad or disgusting. Because when if the things if the I don't know why do I keep saying things, when the excreta doesn't dispose properly and you don't realize it, you just simply left the place, and now the person is coming to do their business, and they'll see that, oh my God, like, do the person who basically attended the washroom before me have no shame, have no etiquettes? Like, did they not realize that they didn't flushed, even though you flushed, but you didn't properly realize that the excreta isn't disposed of? So it basically creates a bad experience overall. The exchange of energy is not good. Okay, so I mean, this is the one thing that we should prioritize. And I also mean to say that I think we need a new infrastructure for bathroom. The same old tired, just a pot, just a bidet, and just the flushing system. I don't think it's an effective mechanism, because sometimes people shit a ton, lot. So we need an effective mechanism for disposing of bigger loads. Okay, so um, but until that system doesn't come into effect, or until we don't have things like that, I always say take a bucket with yourself.
And my last question to you would be about why don't people like wanna wipe the floor after like they're done with showering? Why don't people keep the bathroom floors? Okay, actually, my question is, what kind of bathrooms do you personally prefer?
Personally, I prefer bathrooms which are drier, okay, which are not wet. And I have also written this thing in my articles. And I basically say that when you are taking a shower, after you're done with taking a shower, please wipe the floor. Please put a minute extra into wiping the floor, and don't just wipe it for wiping it. Don't just do it for the formality. Just do it properly. It feels so good. It feels so satisfying to like dry out the floor. It feels dry, and so just wipe the floor. Okay, leave the bathroom dry, because bathroom is such a holy place for some people. It's like it has, I personally prefer a bathroom where I would totally feel comfortable sleeping on the floor. If I'm feeling that, if I have that feeling that, okay, I'd like to spend my night here tonight. I'd like to like watch Netflix or something just lying on the floor, because it's that dry, and it's the surroundings is beautiful, let's say, right? That is the kind of washroom I prefer. So I hate wet bathrooms. Also, this is one of the biggest, I think, disturbing things about public washrooms. People just don't want to maintain hygiene. People just don't want to do that, and sometimes as I said before, nobody cares whether, nobody even cares about like waiting for 15 to 20 seconds to ensure that everything is clean. And I means we can't just blame it on the infrastructure, or I should actually say architecture of the bathroom, that it isn't your mistake that the flushing couldn't flush out the entire thing at once. It isn't your fault. But even if it's not your fault, just we can do something. Okay, that is one thing, and we have to do something about that. And another thing is, I've seen many people walking into the public washrooms. Now, this is a mess during rainy season, because when it's raining, and most of the time our whatever we are wearing, like shoes or slippers, they're wet. And let's say your slippers or shoes come into contact with mud, or dirt on the ground, and you're taking it into the washroom. If you're going into that, it basically ruins the whole um, environment. It ruins everything. The floor becomes so disgusting to look at. It is full of dirt. So probably I would suggest the in again, we can see it has to be like a balance. It has to be a little bit from, we have to have like a better infrastructure for the washroom so that, these things happen on their own. Like cleanliness happens on its own. We can automate these things, but people also need to understand that maybe they can do something about it, you know? And this is actually a great business opportunity for public washrooms. Like, have like a supervisor stand in front of the public washroom, like a guard, and the guard would check whether your sleepers or shoes are clean before entering. And we can have like private companies offering, slippers, returnable slippers. Um, but like for one visit, you have to pay some amount of money. And it's a great business opportunity. Not only does it keep the washrooms clean, it also brings in new opportunity for people, like employment opportunities. And it's harmony all over. So this is something that we should care about. Wipe the floor. The floor has to be dry, very dry. And it has to be, you need to feel warm inside it.